Today, I want to do a tier list for the algorithm, and I'm gonna go through all of the Sims 4 expansion packs, rank them based on how much I enjoy them, whether I recommend them, whether I hate them. You know the gist. Before we go into this, I want to say that I don't want this to come off as me saying you should buy the top ranked packs or you shouldn't buy the bottom ranked packs. I think people are gonna get out of the pack what they get out of the pack, and I don't want to encourage you to purchase anything you don't think you're gonna use, nor do I want to encourage you to buy anything at all. Like, the base game is fine. You can play the game for free and not really have to get any of the packs, and it's a fun experience. But if you are looking to buy any of the expansion packs and want like an external opinion on which ones are good, which ones are bad, which ones you might be interested in, then maybe this can be helpful for you. I will also say I don't think any of these are gonna end up in the bad category. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I do think every single one of these brings something to the table. And I personally do enjoy most of them. I think it's more so the game packs that get kind of iffy and some of the stuff packs. But the actual expansion packs, I think any purchase you make is gonna be worth your time. Depending on how you like to play The Sims, of course. Also, by the way, always buy them at a discount. They go on discounts like every other month, maybe every month. Like, honestly, just wait for it to go on discount. You can get it like 50% off sometimes. They usually go for 30%. I know like Eco Lifestyle goes for 50% off. Very often it's probably their least popular pack, I'm assuming. But yeah, never pay full price for any of these. Anyway, let's start with obviously the first expansion pack, Get to Work. I personally quite enjoy Get to Work. I think all the professions are really fun. I really enjoyed Ambitions from The Sims 3, so Get to Work really tailors to my personal playstyle. But I must say, I don't think I can recommend it because it's just so old, it's outdated, there are some aspects of it that don't hold up. For example, the world, it is disgusting. Magnolia Promenade has like 4 lots, 3 retail lots, 1 empty lot, and there is nothing to do there. I don't think even collectibles spawn there or anything. Also, the professions, they are still kind of buggy. Some of them don't even work. Some of them have like tasks that you have to do to get promoted, and they don't even show up. Like, I know the doctor career requires you to deliver a baby, and if like a pregnant sim doesn't show up at any point, then you're just kind of out of luck and you can't progress in the career. But other than that, like, I do quite enjoy it. Can't recommend it, but if you can get it at a discount, if you wanna play with professions, then maybe this is the pack for you. I will also say that the build items in this pack are some of my favorites because I love like community lot items. There are some really useful decorative items for building like libraries, for building gyms, spas, honestly just like anything. I specifically love this magazine rack. I put this in like every community lot. It's so useful for like a waiting room somewhere. But overall, like, it's just outdated. If they do ever go back and refresh any of these packs, I do think Get to Work and Outdoor Retreat, who were like the first gameplay packs to The Sims 4, I think they should be their priority, specifically Outdoor Retreat. I think so many of the textures in that pack are just god-awful. None of the items work. Anyway, let's not talk about that. That's a whole different video. Next up, we have Get Together, and I think I'm gonna put Get Together in just okay. It's fine. Like, the club system is useful. Vindenburg is obviously one of the better towns in The Sims 4. Not only aesthetically, like, it's got a lot of interesting venues, it's got a lot of interesting build styles. The entire aesthetic of the town is so different from most things we have in The Sims 4. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't find the gameplay to be all that engaging. Like, the clubs, they're just okay. Like I said, they can be useful. Maybe you just need your sim to like meet some people. You can create like a dating club. You can have your children form like a play date club. Stuff like that, but I don't really find myself really using the clubs all that much outside of that, so they're just fine. They did introduce a few cool things though. I think the swimming pools at the cafes, having that in your game is really fun. I like building those. I like being able to take my Sims to those community lots. And like I said, the world, it is very pretty. It also has the most amount of pre-made Sims out of any of the packs. So overall, it's like a solid pack, but for me personally, I don't really care about it that much. Next, we got City Living. This one I'm gonna put in solid. I think this is a great pack. The city is fun. All the different festivals are pretty fun, even though they get a little bit stale after a while. But it's not something you have to do every single time they pop up. So I don't mind them too much. San Myshuno is a gorgeous town. I like all the different apartments. It's a very unique setting to The Sims 4. I don't think we have another city, as far as I can recall. One thing I do not like about City Living, though, is the build-buy items, as well as the Creator Sim items. I just find them to be a little bit outdated at this point in the lifespan of The Sims 4. And I don't find myself building a lot using City Living items, or really using the Creator Sim clothes either. They're also very specific to specific cultures, which is great in terms of representation, but you also don't really end up using those items for every single household. These are more specific to specific types of Sims. So I don't know, it's a good pack though. I do enjoy also the whole system of going to the festivals and trying out all the foods and being able to complete that thing. I'm a very completionist-based player. So for that reason, like, I always have a good time in San Myshuno. Next up, we got Cats and Dogs, and I think that's another one that's gonna go in just okay. I just don't really play with pets that much. I find them to be a little bit annoying. They're just so loud, and it's so hard to interact with them. Like, if they are doing something and you want to talk to them, then you have to wait for them to finish doing whatever thing they are doing. I also don't like that horses were not included in this pack, although admittedly I do think it would have been a buggy hot mess. And ultimately what we got in Horse Ranch is probably the best version of horses we could have gotten for The Sims 4. I will say though, the build-buy items, they're all very solid. I do like quite a lot of them. I do use them a lot. This specific flooring is my favorite in the game. I use it all the damn time. And I do also like Brindleton Bay. It's a very pretty town. It's also one of those towns that is pretty unique, since it's more of like a boardwalk. It's much more of a fishing town as opposed to just like a suburban area somewhere in the middle of America somewhere. So overall, like Cats and Dogs, it's fine. The gameplay, not for me, but it works. The few times I have pets, like it's an okay time, but I personally just don't really play with pets that much. Next up, we got Seasons. This is gonna be the first one to go in my faves. I think every single Simmer loves Seasons. I do think at this point in the series, weather should be a part of the main gameplay experience, the base game experience. But, well, you know, whatever. It is what it is at this point. I will say I think the holidays are a little bit annoying. They get pretty stale after a while, but you can edit them, you can add new holidays, you can change them around. I did find that when I was playing on long lifespan, I didn't mind them as much, since they weren't popping in every like 5 hours of gameplay or so. Instead, they were showing up every now and then it was more of an event instead of just like, oh, it's Harvest Fest yet again. Or not long lifespan, the long day cycle, year cycle, whatever. I think you know what I mean. Overall, Seasons, just having weather is the main selling point of this pack. So if you want to play with weather, obviously you're gonna have to get Seasons. I also kind of enjoy that it adds a little bit more challenge to the gardening skill, even though I will say I think they need to fix it. It's been bugged ever since the game came out, where plants just, they don't work. It's not compatible with certain packs. For example, Outdoor Retreat, they never adjusted the herbalism skill to align with Seasons. So it's not flawless by any means. I also think all of the build-buy items are pretty situational, since most of them are decorations for the different holidays and stuff. But overall, like, it's still a must-buy pack in my opinion. Which again, you know, you don't have to buy any pack. Get them at a discount. Next we got Get Famous. And I'm gonna put Get Famous in solid. I know that's a bit of a hot take. Not a lot of people like love the pack, and I think it's just because not everyone is gonna have fun with the celebrity system, but I personally think it's quite fun. I also think the acting profession, that's another like active career. And like I said, with Get to Work, I love those. So I had quite the fun time playing around with that. It also just makes me a little bit nostalgic because Late Night was one of the first packs that I had for The Sims 3. So I used to love playing around with the celebrity system back when I was a kid playing The Sims 3. So maybe that's like a little bit tainting my opinion here. But overall, I do like Get Famous. I think some of the build buy items are pretty good. Del Sol Valley, though, it's a little bit of a disappointing town. Mainly because the dev team just got pretty lazy with building the houses. So they just don't look as good as the previous packs. And so many of them just have really weird items in them. They're not built with function in mind. Judith Ward's mansion is disgusting and is infamous for not having a toilet in one of the toilets, right? I'm thinking of that house, right? But overall, I'm a gameplay person first, and since I like the celebrity system, I enjoy the gameplay that Get Famous offers, and I always have a fun time playing like a celebrity sim. Next, we got Island Living, and this one is just okay. It's fine. The main problem with Island Living is the gameplay. It's not really there. Like, there isn't really any gameplay. But the draw of Island Living is Sulani. Sulani is gorgeous. It is beautiful. Every time I live there, I have such a fun time. I enjoy hanging out at the beach. I enjoy looking at all the mermaids, swimming around the ocean. I really like all the different build items. I just really appreciate the fact that they really went in on the aesthetic of the pack. All of the buildings they made in Sulani are gorgeous. Overall, a good pack, but if the gameplay was just better, I think Island Living would be like a top tier pack. But since the gameplay is just not there, there's no gameplay, then I can't really recommend it personally. Oh wait, I do have one pack that I don't like, and that is Discover University. I hate this pack. Anytime I play in University, I don't enjoy myself. I think it's so annoying. I find the gameplay to be stale. I find it to be boring. You are just studying all the time. University lasts forever as well, so you kind of have to pause your game, like pause everyone aging, which I don't quite enjoy that much. The build buy items, not my favorite. Brightchester, not my favorite town. In fact, I think it's my least favorite town in The Sims 4. I never live there. I never want to live there. And obviously, if you're not in University, then you don't really have any business being there. Personally, I'd rather just like join a career and work my way up. But if you really want to play with University, then go ahead, I guess. This might be the pack for you. Personally, I'm bored out of my mind every time I play in University. Next, we got Eco Lifestyle, and I'm gonna be honest, I have a bit of a soft spot for this pack. I know it's a bit of a controversial pack, not a lot of people like it. The gameplay is a little intrusive sometimes. It's also pretty easy, but I don't know, I just really like that they really went in on the environmentalism aspect, and I think a lot of people are gonna come out of this pack knowing different ways to be more eco-friendly, to save up on energy, to have an impact in their neighborhoods and stuff. So overall, I'm gonna put this in solid. I know that's a controversial take, but I quite enjoy the pack. I think the builds that they put in this pack, gorgeous. So beautiful. The build by items also really fun. I quite enjoy a lot of them. It's a very specific aesthetic, an aesthetic that not everyone is going to enjoy, but personally I think it's quite nice. I find myself using it a lot, and yeah, I don't know, I enjoy it. I love being able to install like solar panels and the wind turbines to gather electricity for my Sims on their own. They can go off the grid and stuff, which you can do with the base game, but I don't think you can get energy unless you have Eco Lifestyle. So overall, I quite enjoy the pack. I think it's a solid experience. I don't think it's like a top tier pack by any means, but it's good. Also, Evergreen Harbor, such a beautiful town. I love it. I like that we got apartments, but not like the same massive skyscrapers that we got in San Machino, but instead like these smaller apartment units that you can live in. So overall, this pack is pretty niche. If you are looking for a specific gameplay experience, then you might enjoy this pack. But if you want to just play like a traditional family style gameplay, pretty straightforward Sims gameplay, then I don't think this pack might be for you. I would put it in the same area as like Into the Future from The Sims 3, where you get this very specific gameplay experience that you are probably not going to engage with all the time. But it's still like a fun experience to do every now and then. Next up, we got a Snowy Escape. I'm gonna put this in solid as well. Mount Komorebi, beautiful. All the builds are gorgeous, specifically because they got simmers to build them. All the different gameplay, pretty fun. I like that one neighborhood is just always covered in snow. That's fantastic. It's a very unique aesthetic, a very unique world to The Sims 4. They've never done something like this before, as far as I'm aware. The gameplay, though, is, in my opinion, the standout. You have the return of festivals, and these ones aren't nearly as intrusive as the ones in City Living, because no one really calls you to go there. You can just, like, go if you want to go. Rock climbing, that's fun. Skiing, also pretty fun. Going to the onsen, also pretty fun. But like one aspect that I think is kind of a dud in this pack is the hiking mechanic, because you don't really do anything. You just like click, go on a hike, and your sim walks around for a bit. I feel like they could have either like done something a bit different there, or maybe even just like removed it. Like it doesn't really do anything. You can have your sim just walk around on your own. You don't need to click a sign for it. I will also say the lifestyles, they're fine. I don't really enjoy them that much, but they're okay. I could take them or leave them personally. So yeah, Snow Escape, solid pack. If you wanna play with more like winter activities, then this is the pack for you. And if you just wanna play around in a world that is different aesthetically from the other worlds in The Sims 4, then this might also be the pack for you. Next up, we got Cottage Living, and this one is gonna go in my faves. I can't help it. I love the cottagecore aesthetic. I love living in a tiny little cottage, building up a farm, having the farm animals, gardening. That's all really enjoyable to me personally. It really aligns with how I want to play The Sims. It's not uncommon for me to end up just using The Sims 4 as a farming simulator sometimes. So this pack like really aligns with how I play the game. Hanford on Bagley, gorgeous. Such a beautiful town. Also quite unique in terms of the aesthetic of the Sims 4 towns. I don't think we've really ever gotten like a small English countryside town. I love that Agatha returns in this pack. I love all the different lore in the pack. It's great. All the build by items, gorgeous, love it. But also the Creative Sim items, some of the best in the game. I use so many of these items all the damn time. So this is another one that's like top tier for me. And also, I'm gonna put High School Years up there as well. Is it great? Is it fantastic? No. Is it buggy? Yes. Does it often not work at all? Yes. But I just play a lot with families personally, and I love when they give the younger generation something to do, because so many of the packs have nothing to do for like the child life stage or the toddler life stage. So a pack that focuses specifically on the teen life stage is like a game changer for me. I love going to high school. I love that my teen sim can now have a life on their own, can have an experience that is external from just like living at home and then going to school and then going back home and then going to school again and then going back home. They get to be like an actual person, and I get to develop them as a character as opposed to them just like existing. I also think Copperdale is beautiful. Maybe not the most like unique town in The Sims 4, but it's a pretty place. I always enjoy living there. I will say the lighting, like the natural lighting in it, is a little bit upsetting to me because it's so dark. I don't know why The Sims 4 loves just making shit be dark. Like seriously, I just need to see what I'm doing. Thrifty, that's a really fun addition. The boardwalk with the like carnival, that's also pretty fun, although I don't really find myself going there that often, unless it's like that prom after party thing. But overall, like the gameplay, there's just so much gameplay in this pack to explore, to have fun with, to try out and see if it works or not, because some of it is really buggy and doesn't work at all. I also think this pack comes with some of the best build, buy, and create a sim items in The Sims 4. They are just so universally useful. There are so many different beds that you can use for almost like any house. There's so many clothing items that you can use for pretty much any sim. I find that High School Years has a lot to offer, specifically for people who want to evolve their teen characters and who really enjoy like story-based gameplay. Next we got Growing Together, and this is another one that I'm gonna put in can't recommend it. I just don't think there is enough gameplay in this pack to be worth the $40 price point. It's $40, right? Hang on, I gotta check this. Yeah, $40 price point. The features that came in this, like the main features, are all the milestones with the different infants. It's the family dynamics, and then the stayover feature. And that's pretty much like it. I don't think you need any of those. They're like fine additions. I do quite enjoy the stayover feature. Like currently I am playing in my Legacy Challenge as like a weekend dad. So my kids will like come over on the weekends. They will stay over at our house and then they will leave and go back to their moms. So I do think it offers unique types of gameplay, but overall, like, I don't think you need this pack. San Sequoia, also not that interesting of a town. There's not really anything unique here that you can't get from like Willow Creek or even Newcrest. The only unique thing it really has to offer is the recreation center, which I don't think you really need that specific lot type to make a recreation center. You can just like build one and make it any other lot type. Yeah, I personally think they kind of flopped on this one a little bit. I will say though, a lot of the build buy items are pretty solid. A lot of the cast items also pretty solid. I do enjoy the lore they added to the world quite a bit. I think the pre-made sims they added, they're pretty nicely fleshed out. They're interconnected with the rest of the pre-made sims. So there is like stuff to enjoy about the pack, but in general, just I think it's too expensive for what it is. It feels a lot more like a game pack to me. And then finally, we have the latest pack to date, because I'm not gonna do For Rent. It's not out yet, so there's no point in like talking about it at this moment. I will say though, I'm very excited about it. I think it's like such a interesting idea, and I think I'm gonna love that pack. I think it's gonna be in my favorites. Editing me here, hello. So this video took me a hot minute to edit, and in the meantime, For Rent came out, so it is available. You can play it. I have played it. So disregard like everything I just said in the past like 2 seconds of this video or whatever, however long that portion was. I'm still not gonna add For Rent to the tier list because I don't feel comfortable doing like a comprehensive review of it just yet, because I've only played it like a little bit. It just came out. I don't have a decent enough experience with the pack to accurately rate it. All I will say is that I'm enjoying it. My suspicions were correct in the recording that I did earlier for this video. I do quite enjoy this pack, and I'm excited to play more with it. So stay tuned for a more comprehensive review, I guess, or just thoughts. I don't think I'm gonna post a review. I'm not like a review channel. Maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. Never say never. Anyway, back to the video. But let's talk about Horse Ranch. I'm gonna put that in just okay. I think it's fine. If you want to play with horses, like, it's fine. I do really like the nectar making mechanic. I'm having a lot of fun playing around with that, but I don't really enjoy the playing around with horses that much. Like, I don't care. I don't care about horses, to be honest. Which is funny, because I really like Cottage Living, because that offers like farming mechanics, but something about Horse Ranch just doesn't really grab me. Chestnut Ridge, it's fine. It's pretty. It's like pretty unique. I know a lot of people compare it to Cottage Living. I don't think it's that similar. I will say some of the build by items are similar, but also quite different. I find myself using a lot of the Horse Ranch items quite a bit in a lot of different builds. I just really like a lot of these items. I also love the cowboy aesthetic, so I often use some of these Create a Sim items. If you don't know, then I have this sim called Sexy Man, who basically is just a cowboy. Maybe I should move him to Chestnut Ridge and play around with this pack a bit. I don't know. Overall, though, like, it's okay. It's a decent pack. Is it worth the 40 bucks? No. Get it at a discount if you want to get it, but it's fine. If you want to play with horses, then knock yourselves out. I personally don't really find much enjoyment in it, but maybe I just have to play around with it a little bit more. Alright, that's gonna be all the packs I'm ranking today. I guess I can do the game packs and the stuff packs at a later date, and maybe even the kits. I will say though, I don't have all of those, because I don't really want all of those, and I don't intend on buying all of those. But let me know if you want to see it, I guess. Alright, that's gonna be me today. Thanks for watching. Bye.